Hey Southlake, this is Ryan Wilson, your local real estate expert, coming to you today from Il Calabrese, where I will be speaking with City Council candidate MaryGrace Thoennes about her campaign and vision for the future of our great city. First of all, MaryGrace, I want to thank you for joining me here today at Il Calabrese, which, like I said, just learned how to say for the first time today when I was downstairs talking to the hostess. So you're helping me learn new things. I appreciate that.
Great.
First of all, my goal with this is really to provide you as a candidate with the platform to talk about your campaign and then share with Southlake residents what your vision is for the future and how you're going to help, along with them, work to go achieve those things.
Okay.
So really jumping right into things, getting started, what was kind of the driving force that made you decide, I want to go run for city council?
Sure. So thank you, though, for having me and giving me this opportunity and just to shed some light on a little bit about who I am. So as you mentioned, my name is MaryGrace, and my last name is Thoennes, like the game. That's about the same. Yeah. And I really appreciate this opportunity to talk about Southlake, which is what I love. I love Southlake. So in 1999, Southlake was starting their growth. Town Square was opening up. We had the grand opening of Town Square. And the decisions that the leaders of Southlake were making decisions that would be impacting us today. So all of those growth and looking at the future was being worked on at that time, and I wanted to be a part of that growth, and that was one of the reasons why I bought land on Jellicoe Circle, which is one of the original neighborhoods of Southlake, and I worked with the city to develop that property. I was the general contractor and built my own house, and my vision was to create a home where my daughter Natalie and I could live, and it was in a community that was safe, sound, and financially stable. So right away, I began working and volunteering for Southlake. Community service is a passion of mine. I joined SPIN and Neighborhood Southlake, and those kind of laid the foundation for my volunteering. So I partnered with Lee Caldwell, and we led the petition to have wine sales in Southlake, and we're successful in getting that on the ballot. Yeah. And voters voted to have wine sale now in Southlake. So now everyone can enjoy a glass of wine at home that they purchased at their local retail store.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, well, cheers. So I love living in Southlake. The last 20 years, I've been actively involved in Southlake civic and political issues with the goal of creating effective change. My family and I feel that this is now the time for me to serve and represent the citizens of Southlake.
So if you were elected, what are your top priority, your top couple of priorities that you would implement once you took office?
Yes. So we are so fortunate to be living and raising our families in Southlake. And moving forward, we must be positively mindful of the choices that we need to make to keep Southlake a vibrant community. With voter support and being on City Council, I will promote that thoughtful development for both commercial and residential developments, with a focus on those remaining developments to maintain our tradition of excellence. And I will work with for the safety of our schools and children. As a council member, I will work with Carroll Independent School District and provide support and resources for school safety. And I'll partner with the Crime Board Prevention District to capture those additional funds to help that important mission. I'll work with the State Transportation Department to encourage safe and effective roadways. And that's a multi-pronged facet effort, analyzing the traffic flow along with the use of roundabouts and deceleration lanes, and also adding directional signs to offer alternatives to 114.
So you've obviously been very involved in the community since you've lived here,
Right.
whether it's schools or Chamber of Commerce or the city or local volunteer organizations.
Right.
Can you expand a little bit on what those positions were and how they prepared you for this next step?
Absolutely. So the civic service that I've participated in has definitely helped me prepare for the role of City Council. I've been a board member for Crime Control Prevention District and was proud to be one of the votes to support the additional $500,000 to go to the school safety initiative. I've assisted in our economic department in conducting surveys to local businesses, and in that finding insight on what tools and resources are needed to help businesses be successful here in Southlake. I've been currently on the board for Pro Players Foundation, which we raise money for kids' playgrounds in underserved communities. I've, for the last 12 years, been involved with Kids Matter International, where we do Clothe the Child program, very active in the fundraising efforts of that. I've been involved with Greater Southlake Women's Club, Southlake Newcomers Club, also involved with the Southlake Rotary Club and Toastmasters. I joined Southlake Executive Forum when I first came to Southlake in 1999 and have been an active member since then, and now on the board and oversee the programs and the events that happen for Southlake Executive Forum, which is a great way to be involved and get to know so many people in the community. On a national level, I've been the past first vice president for programs for the Republican Women of North Texas. I am the Republican precinct chair and election judge for our district. Professionally, I am a business development for 2 entities and have a background as a financial advisor where I specialize in benefit plans for companies. And personally, I have a 16-year-old daughter, Natalie. She is in her 3rd year as the varsity color guard. The team was just ranked 17th in the nation, so we're very, very proud of them. And next week they're off to Dayton to compete in the World Championship. So I'm involved with band boosters and color guard, moving the props on Friday night for the football games, chaperoning, and doing fundraising for them.
So it's safe to say you have more than a few things going on, but
Yeah.
It looks like you've done a really good job of balancing those out to make sure that you've been effective in all the positions that you've held.
Absolutely, yes, yeah. Everything for Southlake.
Yeah. Just to wrap things up, in a few sentences, can you tell us a little bit why voters should go cast their ballot for you on May 4th?
Yeah, thank you. Well, and actually, I would love to have them come out on April 22nd for early voting.
Okay.
So April 22nd to April 30th is early voting, with Election Day being on
Okay.
May 4th. Well, we all want what's best for Southlake, and that is best done with open and honest communication. When I see a need, I take action. I collaborate with others to develop and implement plans to make things happen. I do the work, and we'll get it done. My commitment as a council member is to make decisions that will proactively impact Southlake. I evaluate options and potential outcomes based on the economic and social impact for Southlake. I take very seriously the stewardship so that Southlake and our children will be able to enjoy the blessings of our community. So whether it is decade-long friendships or friendships that just started today, the friendly atmosphere here in Southlake is one of the blessings of this community. And I am enthusiastic about our future and willing to do the hard work to make our dreams a reality. And so when asked about the best place to live, I wholeheartedly exclaim, positively Southlake.
Early voting for Southlake City Council starts April 22nd and Election Day is May 4th, so get out there and make your voice heard.